Alright, settle in. Because what you're about to hear, what you're about to see in your mind's eye, isn't just a theory. It's a prophecy. And when it comes true, when the tribal chief falls and the echoes of head of the table are replaced by the sickening thud of shattered dominance, you'll remember where you heard it first. You'll remember this moment, right here, right now, on Ring Rumble. You'll remember the chilling, undeniable truth: The Rock doesn't just beat Roman Reigns at Wrestlemania 42. He destroys him. And when I say destroys, I don't mean a hard-fought classic. I don't mean a passing of the torch. I mean a systematic, brutal, unapologetic dismantling so complete, so shocking, that it will make Brock Lesnar's streak-breaking victory over The Undertaker look like a friendly sparring session. It will be the single most defining moment in WWE history since Montreal, since WrestleMania 3. And it will leave Roman Reigns a broken, humiliated shell of the man who once sat at the head of the table. Now, before you smash the dislike button, before you flood the comments with your crazy, or never gonna happen, just listen. Hear me out. Because the seeds have already been planted. The chessboard is set. And once you see the path, once you understand the cold, hard logic, you'll realize there's no other way this story can end. And if you're brave enough to stick with me through this entire breakdown, if you're willing to confront the unthinkable, I promise you, by the end of this video, you won't just be speculating, you'll be believing. And maybe, just maybe, when you hit that subscribe button, it won't just be out of curiosity, but out of a shared understanding of the seismic shift that's coming. Let's rewind, not to WrestleMania 42, but to the origins of this entire saga. Remember when Roman Reigns first donned the tribal chief mantle? It wasn't just a character change, it was a pact with the devil. He embraced Paul Heyman, he betrayed GUSO, and he solidified his reign of terror through manipulation, intimidation, and the sheer brute force of his family. He broke hearts, he broke spirits, and he broke every sacred bond that once defined the Anoa'i family. And in doing so, he became everything The Rock stood against: a tyrant. A selfish, arrogant king who believed his bloodline was a shield, not a responsibility. The Rock, on the other hand, is the quintessential final boss. Not just because of his Hollywood status, not just because he's one of the most recognizable people on the planet, but because he embodies the very essence of what a hero should be in the WWE universe. He fought for the people. He electrified arenas with charisma, not coercion. He won his championships through sheer will and talent, not through constant interference and questionable tactics. And when he eventually returned to confront Roman, it wasn't just about a dream match, it was about redemption. It was about settling a generational debt. It was about making Roman pay for every single transgression, every single betrayal. Think back to their initial confrontation. The intensity, the unspoken fury in The Rock's eyes. He didn't just talk about blood, he talked about respect, about legacy, about what it truly means to be Samoan royalty. Roman, in his arrogance, dismissed it. He believed he was above reproach, that his reign was ordained. But The Rock, the real head of the table in terms of global influence and inherent fan respect, saw through the facade. He saw a corrupted version of his family, a path that needed to be corrected. Now, let's fast forward to the build-up for WrestleMania 42. This isn't just a match for a championship, because honestly, does Roman even need the title anymore to be the tribal chief? No. This is a match for the very identity of the Anoa'i dynasty. This is for who truly leads the family. And for Roman, it's a desperate, last-ditch effort to prove his reign was legitimate, that he wasn't just a fortunate son, but a dominant force. For The Rock, it's not about gold, it's about a lesson. A brutal, unforgettable lesson in humility and consequence. Imagine the atmosphere at WrestleMania 42. The electricity is palpable, but it's tinged with something darker. A sense of impending doom for one man. Roman Reigns makes his entrance, not with the usual pomp and circumstance, but with a slight tremor in his confident strut. He feels it. He knows this isn't just another challenger. This is family. And family cuts deeper than any rival. Paul Heyman, usually a beacon of composure, looks visibly stressed, his eyes darting, almost searching for an escape route that doesn't exist. Then The Rock's music hits. The crowd erupts, but it's not the usual finally pop. It's a roar that carries the weight of years of anticipation, of anger at Roman's reign, and of desperate hope that someone, anyone, can finally put an end to it. The Rock, dressed not in his usual flamboyant gear, but in something more stripped down, more serious, walks with a grim determination. His face, usually adorned with that $1 million smile, is set in a stone-cold glare. This isn't entertainment. This is war. This is retribution. The bell rings. And for the first few minutes, it's a typical Roman Reigns match. He tries to overpower The Rock, to use his strength advantage, his size, to bully him. He hits the Superman punch early. He tries to go for the spear. He wants to end it quickly, to dispel the aura, to shut down the crowd. But The Rock, surprisingly, weathers the storm. He absorbs the blows, perhaps a little rusty, perhaps a little slower than his prime, but his resilience is unmatched. He kicks out. He gets back up. And with each rising, the look in his eyes hardens. Then, it shifts. Slowly at first, then rapidly. The Rock starts to get his offense in, but it's not the usual flamboyant rock bottom or people's elbow setup. It's grittier. He catches Roman with a hard clothesline that visibly stuns him. A series of rights and lefts against the ropes that are less punch and more pummel. Roman is disoriented. He looks to Heyman for guidance, but Heyman just shakes his head, helpless. The first true sign of what's coming is when The Rock starts talking. Not the usual trash talk, but a quiet, venomous stream of accusations. "You betrayed them all, Roman," he snarls, as he wrenches Roman's arm, twisting it beyond what looks comfortable. "You call yourself the tribal chief? You're nothing but a spoiled brat." He hits a spine buster, not with a flourish, but with a sickening crunch. Roman hits the mat hard, and you can see the wind knocked out of him. Now, Roman tries to fight back, fueled by pure rage and desperation. He hits another Superman punch, but The Rock stays on his feet. He wobbles, he stumbles, but he doesn't fall. And that's when the dread truly sets in for Roman. He looks at The Rock, breathing heavily, eyes narrowed, and he sees not an aging movie star, but a demon come to collect his due. The Rock starts to target Roman's leg, methodically, brutally. He slams it against the ring post, applies a devastating hold that draws a legitimate scream from Roman. The referee asks if Roman wants to quit, and he just glares at him, refusing. This is where the anger builds. Not just Roman's, but the audience's. We've seen Roman dole out this kind of punishment for years. Now, it's his turn. And it feels right. Roman struggles to stand, his leg giving out. The Rock lifts him, not for a rock bottom, but for a series of open-hand slaps to the face. Loud, humiliating slaps that echo through the stadium. He's not trying to pin him, he's trying to break him. He's trying to make Roman feel every ounce of pain he inflicted on G, on Sammy, on everyone who dared defy him. He drags Roman to the corner, props him up, and then starts unleashing a barrage of shoulder tackles, each one more impactful than the last. Roman slumps to the mat, eyes glazed over. The crowd is on its feet, not cheering in pure joy, but in a mixture of awe and morbid fascination. This is beyond a wrestling match. This is an execution. The Rock then goes to the outside, pulls a chair from under the ring. Heyman screams, begging him not to. The referee tries to intervene, but The Rock shoves him aside with a force that says, "Stay out of this." He slides back into the ring, the chair held high. Roman, barely conscious, sees it, and for the first time in years, there's genuine fear in his eyes. He tries to crawl away, but his leg gives out. The Rock lifts the chair, and instead of a single shot, he starts unleashing a brutal, relentless assault on Roman's back, his legs, his arms. Blow after blow after blow. The sickening thud of metal on flesh echoes through the arena, cutting through the cheers. It's not a match anymore, it's a statement. A declaration of war against the very concept of the tribal chief. He's not just destroying Roman's body, he's destroying his aura, his mystique, his reign. Finally, The Rock tosses the chair aside. Roman is a crumpled mess in the center of the ring, barely moving. His pristine white shirt is torn, his face bruised, a thin trickle of blood from his mouth. He's humiliated. He's broken. And The Rock stands over him, chest heaving, a look of grim satisfaction on his face. He doesn't go for a pin. He doesn't need to. He lifts Roman one last time, a limp, helpless figure. He props him up against the ropes, staring into his defeated eyes. And then, slowly, deliberately, he winds up. He hits the people's elbow. Not with the usual showmanship, but with a finality that sends a shiver down your spine. Roman collapses, utterly motionless. The referee, bewildered, looks at The Rock. The Rock just nods. The referee hesitates for a moment, then looks at Roman, who is clearly unable to continue. He calls for the bell. The winner of this match, by referee stoppage, The Rock. The announcement echoes through the stadium, but it's met with a stunned silence before an eventual, explosive roar. Not a cheer of celebration, but a guttural release of pent-up emotion. Roman Reigns, the unbreakable tribal chief, wasn't just defeated. He was destroyed. Not pinned, not submitted, but rendered utterly, completely, medically incapable of continuing. The Rock doesn't gloat. He doesn't pose. He simply kneels beside Roman, placing a hand on his shoulder, then slowly, deliberately, removes the necklace, the symbol of the tribal chief, from Roman's neck. He holds it up for a moment, then drops it on Roman's chest, a final, pointed act of judgment. He then slowly walks away, leaving Roman lying alone in the middle of the ring, his reign, his power, his very identity shattered into a million pieces. This isn't just about The Rock winning. This is about The Rock showing Roman, and the world, that there are consequences for arrogance, for betrayal, for abusing power. This isn't a torch passing, it's a torch extinguished. It's a painful, humiliating lesson in humility, delivered by the very bloodline Roman thought he controlled. And that, my friends, is why The Rock destroys Roman Reigns at Wrestlemania 42. It's the only ending that makes sense, the only way to truly pay off years of villainy, and the only way to elevate The Rock from a returning legend to the ultimate, uncompromising final boss. It's not just what we want, it's what the story demands. So, what do you think now? Is it still crazy? Or do you, like me, feel that chilling sense of inevitability? I want to know your thoughts in the comments below. Did this breakdown get your blood boiling? Did it make you angry at Roman all over again? Did it fill you with a suspenseful eagerness for Wrestlemania 42? If it did, please, give this video a like, share it with every single wrestling fan you know, because they need to hear this. And if you're still here, if you're feeling that same unsettling dread and excitement for what's to come, please, subscribe to Ring Rumble. It really helps me keep bringing you these deep dives and insane predictions. Just a little click, it means the world. I promise, we're just getting started.